Welcome to a DropTent media production.
Slapstick Sports, the most inconsistent sports podcast you know. I am
your favorite.
1/3 of your host, but your favorite, yeah. I am 1/3 host, Adam Nutter. What's up, everybody? To my left on my screen, I don't know what it looks like on your screen.
Yeah, it's right. It's right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Wait, on my screen is like
Blasie
It
Gegeckas,
doesn't
matter.
Blaze G Comedy. What's up?
What's up? Good to see you guys.
To my right, producer Evan.
I'm just hanging out in the middle here, but yeah. Hey, what's
Not on
going
my
on, bud?
screen.
Yeah.
You're on my right.
Well, my screen's different. I'm sorry, bud.
It's
Sorry.
all right.
It's fine.
Another week of no sports. Another week of quarantine. But tomorrow, big day, big draft day.
Virtual draft day.
Virtual. It's weird. This is the first time ever that this has been done in any sort type of like call-in virtual
And
scenario, right?
I hope the Vikings don't get their pick in on time. Again. For the third time.
How do you do
Dude,
that?
would be. Dude, they did it back-to-back years.
No, but like if you're an NFL franchise, like
You have 15 minutes, dude. You should
have-
already know.
you have 15 minutes and you should already know.
Yeah.
And that's when you work to all year. That's like your goal. Your goal is like
Yeah,
working
that's
on the
like
draft,
at-
working on the draft,
yeah.
working on the draft. We're building a team. Who are we gonna get? Who's the future of this team? And then you be like, we fucking can do it in 15 minutes. You had 364 days.
Exactly. It's like, so you guys have been scouting, right? And they're like, yeah, how long? 364 days. Great. Who's the pick? Ooh. Ooh.
Need more than 15 minutes.
Where's the draft board? You should
Yeah.
just have like, these are the guys. We'll say you got 5, then you got 5 ones below them. If they'll, like, you got to have like a board. You can't. I have no idea how that happened.
Whoever's responsible for missing that pick from Minnesota, if I was the owner, I'd be like,
And they
all right,
did it twice.
yeah. I would be like, I have to skull fuck you publicly, and then you're gonna fire you. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Twice.
We're gonna murder you. Actually, you're just gonna disappear. We gotta
They're
make this
gonna
like.
They're gonna flog him in whatever shitty Minneapolis town. I don't know. Who cares?
Throw them in a lake or some shit or whatever you do up there, because they're like polite, so they wouldn't do anything too crazy.
But yeah, so this is I saw the GM for the Lions. I think they hired like a whole IT team. Did you see that for his like
No.
driveway? He set
Really?
up like, I think it's the Lions. He set up a RV in his driveway with
They
a whole
have that
IT
kind of
team.
money.
The
Their
NFL.
franchise blows.
Oh, the Lions, you mean?
Yeah, the Lions. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but that's
they're
the thing
in
about football,
Detroit.
though. But you know that about football, though. You know that football, no matter how bad the team is, they always have money somehow because it's
Yeah,
football.
but the area is poor. It's like it's crazy that they have money to set up an IT team in this guy's driveway when no one's actually. It makes sense because they're not paying anyone right now, probably.
I'm sure they are.
Well, not like the way that they would.
Well, yeah,
If
because
somebody
I'm sure all the
didn't eat a bat.
right. I'm sure because all the facilities are closed and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like all like the regular, like the gyms and the bobs and shit or whatever.
Let me ask you guys this though: do you think this changes the whole field? Not field. It obviously changes the field of the draft. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Does this change though? Maybe does it put pressure on people that normally wouldn't have pressure? Does it relieve pressure from people that normally would have pressure? Do you think it will go more smoothly or harder because it's all virtual? Like those are the questions I'm curious.
I don't know, dude, because the internet's like so savage that I feel like NFL teams are aware of like internet and like the presence and like how it is kind of reflective of how people are feeling, especially in the sports way. You know what I mean? So
That
it's
was the most generic.
Yeah. See,
you just don't. Hold on, Evan. Hold on. Blaze just said the NFL teams, they're where the internet exists, and people have feelings. That's what you just said.
Wait,
But
really?
Worse.
Dude, what's fucked up about that moment that just happened is I thought I was being like really profound.
You just just you just said the NFL, like they're aware of the internet and like they know people put their feelings on there. So man, it's like yeah,
Dude,
that's
I was looking at myself like, yo, I'm Mr. Miyagi, and these are my hoppers.
Okay.
And you were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
If your students all had Down syndrome, then you're the Mr. Miyagi.
Adam, I have an intelligible answer for you, hopefully.
Yes.
Something that makes sense in what we're talking about. I have a couple things that I'm worried about with this draft. First is that unless the teams did hire people to kind of run the tech side of things, I could see some issues where some of maybe the elder statesmen trying to run their draft boards might have some issues clicking some buttons. No offense, I've just seen it in my personal life where some people that are getting on a bit have internet issues.
That's true.
And then the other part
hold
on to your first part, so you can get to your second part. Yeah, I know you're saying about the old people thing, but like, I don't think they're the ones being like, I gotta hit control. Like, they're just,
no. That's my first point.
But wait, what if there's an issue with technology?
Oh, yeah, that's why. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, here's my second part, and here's what I'm really. This is what I'm really worried about. I'm gonna start getting really nerdy for a second. They can get what's called doxed or DDoSed. They'd be able, like, if somebody didn't like what was going on, or let's say there was some tech heads that enjoyed NFL as well,
they would get offended.
They could literally stop the internet that's going in and out of whatever team is doing their thing.
Oh, so you think they might be like hacks?
They could block wow. They could hack it, and they could act as though they're the Bengals. They could act as though they're the Cowboys.
Okay. Well, so you're saying a team would do that? I don't know. I mean, I guess
I'm
so,
saying
right?
like anybody could do that. I'm saying like
gotcha.
like a Jim Bob who's really good at computers could do that.
Imagine this scenario. They realize this, right? And then the mob, they're doing like bets. And then they're like, all right, we bet this guy's going to be the first pick. But then they could hack into it and make it the first pick, right? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like
you could potentially fuck with the draft.
Super hard to do, though. I'm sure. Don't you also think the NFL and all these teams are like, we're gonna hire?
Well, I mean, hey, Sony, Disney, and everybody's been hacked before.
That's true.
And they're. I mean, I'll tell you right now, Disney's bigger than the NFL.
Disney is bigger than the NFL. That is true.
By like leaps and bounds.
But I think the NFL takes this shit so seriously, though.
The Disney has gone after people for almost nothing when it comes to like copyrights and things. So when it comes to that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be shocked if Disney was up there with like an Apple taking that stuff as serious.
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but Chuck E. Cheese, before he was a rat, he was actually a mouse.
Doesn't fuck
and
around,
Disney
dude.
sued Chuck E. Cheese, bro, and now it's a rat. So
is that true?
Disney.
No,
it's not
that's
true,
the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Honestly, dude, that was super believable because that was more believable than your shitty fucking real thing you were trying to say earlier.
Way more profound than what you said just a few moments ago.
Word. Well, that felt way dumber to say, but somehow.
No, because that's a thing that I could see Disney doing, or like a shitty corporation doing.
No, absolutely.
I don't think it's gonna happen like at all. I don't see that happening, but it's definitely something that could happen. I mean,
concern.
How many years in a row on Christmas Day has Xbox and PlayStation gone down?
That's true.
Like every year, bro.
I mean, last time I checked, Microsoft is a little bit bigger than the NFL. So
yeah, that's true. I get globally. I understand.
I mean, the Microsoft gives the NFL money to put their services on the field. Like they're the ones kind of laughing at NFL money.
Do you think? Because I know an NFL team. I'm not. By the way, I'm not even putting this. We're holding the dog. The dog's going to make an appearance. I'm not even saying the NFL.
Get the dog.
Off.
That's fine. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm not even saying an NFL team wouldn't do it because like they're shady. Like look at the Patriots, right? Like I wouldn't put it past the Patriots. Be like, yo, we're going to hack some shit. But like they wouldn't do it from their fucking IP. They're not that dumb, right? But
no, I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all.
But hold on.
But
my question is, do you think a team would be like, let's hire a hacker? To fuck with some.
No, what I was saying is it would be a third party, it'd be an outside thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would think would happen. It would literally be disgruntled Jim Bob from somewhere who doesn't like what's happening and is really good at computers. And guess what? We're in quarantine, and he's been fucking testing this shit for a month and a half, dude.
Yeah, he's just been sitting home jerking off.
There's no reason. There's no reason to say
doing.
that there's not exactly though. There's no. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but there's no reason to say that can't
Dude,
happen.
people do weird shit. Somebody can
Even
just do
when
that
they're
as like a goof.
Yeah.
Like ha ha ha.
Yeah. Like make it so that like all that the NFL teams all they see is like they get rickrolled or something stupid like that.
It would be funny.
That would be great.
It would be funny as long as it doesn't happen to the Eagles
or Giants. Yeah, I hear you though. Hopefully,
I mean, not fuck the Giants, but as long as it doesn't happen to the Eagles.
Eagles.
I actually hope it happens to the Giants.
Oh wow, do you?
Yeah. Well, I hope they're playing this clip right now.
How original.
During their pick.
Somebody just gets the idea.
Saying fuck the Giants.
Wait, I'm really good at computers.
Yeah, Evan, get on it, dude. Let's do it. We destroy a whole season. Reason.
He's like, I'm in. Like, who are you talking to? He's like, no one.
Yeah, pick the punter, first round. Do it.
That'd be a great hack. You pick a punter.
Dude, I don't even know if that's believable though. I mean,
like, that's even funnier than just like trading away your pick. Is like, I'm gonna make this team pick a punter.
Yeah,
that's funny.
True. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that.
You gotta pay him the minimum. You gotta pay him the minimum. You have to pay that punter
can't cut your first round pick.
Yeah, true. And you gotta pay him a couple mil.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they did that the test run on Monday night. The NFL got together and they did like a completely different mock draft where they went through and did everything. So I think it'll run all right.
And did that go over well? I didn't read anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see anything going wrong with it. There wasn't any news about like, oh shit, everybody fucked up. It was just, hey, I think it was the Cowboys had the first pick or something like that, and it was just talks about that kind of stuff.
Bro, but what if there's like a team? I imagine the teams that are picking are going to be picking from their cities, right? Meaning like Philadelphia, their guys will be in Philadelphia.
Well, it's wherever I think the GMs live.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? But what if there's like a storm there or something and there's like interference?
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of variables here.
Yeah, I mean, but then you'd have to have at that point.
Is there leeway there, or is it just
I'm
like?
Sure there's also multiple. Hold on though. I mean, you might be. Maybe there is. Maybe they have like something written in with like, hey, we'll give you like a fucking chance. But maybe it's just like they also have multiple avenues of communication. So if like the main one goes down, they have like a second or third one to be like, hey.
I wouldn't be shocked if they made sure that they had a room, or at least like where they'd be close enough in proximity where there's each person with each different cell provider too, just in case there was issues on each
and
something.
String.
I mean, somebody has Sprint, somebody has T-Mobile, somebody has AT&T.
There's 32 cups and strings going to Goodell's house.
Yeah.
He's like, hello. He's just grabbing him for like the little rascals.
We end up finding out later that's exactly what happened. That it was the biggest project in the world, longest string ever.
Dude, that'd be so
Michael's
sad.
and Joanne's worked together for the first time in history. It was the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, we can't pay any stadium employees. We were building this high tech, interface.
String cup infrastructure.
What was it made of? Well, there's really high quality plastic cups, and this
$3 billion worth.
You may have heard of them. It's like you may have heard of them. Dixie. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah.
Sponsored by. But yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions about that or any other thoughts, I mean, that was just my thought too. Like because that was my whole point. Was just a lot of variables, more so than ever before. So just I wonder if something might happen. All right, so who has first pick again? I already forgot. This is how much. Also, the quarantine is also making me not give.
Well, wait. Let me ask this: as a Giants fan, what position do you think the Giants need to target in this draft?
Man. So here's the thing.
I mean, I know your team's a trash can right now.
Well, I would say.
You like to see
I would say. Here's what's a trash can on the team: the entire offensive line, and then the entire defensive side of the ball. But like the skills position on the offense is, I know that's my point. But the skills position on the offense is young, and they're all up and coming. They all have talent. Like Barkley,
Saquon, Evan,
one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Evan Engram, by the way, top 10 tight ends in the NFL. Like he's a good tight end.
If he can stay healthy, he could be top 3.
Their receivers, the problem is they don't have any true number one receiver. They have like two number 2s.
Yeah.
And they're fine. They're serviceable, but they need. Let's be honest, they need a number 1. But whatever, that could be dealt with. But like O-line, they need help with. Obviously, to get like Jones and all those guys going, and then defensively, they need a fucking like a They need like a Lawrence Taylor again, dude. Like another solid middle linebacker, like a Kuechly, something like that.
Yeah. When's the last time they had that?
Antonio Pierce.
That's what I was gonna say. It was like 07?
08.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
wow.
He made one of the best defensive plays in a playoff I've ever seen because it was the moment. It was when they were playing the Packers in Green Bay when it was like freezing. Remember that game? It was like -20, and like it was like went to overtime or whatever. But
every playoff game in Green Bay is -20.
That is true. Remember that game in Green? Yeah, it was -20.
Yeah.
Remember Hoff? Remember when they played on Hoff? I saw Imperial Walkers in the back. No, but like he made a play where it was a screen pass, and it was a big. If Green Bay got this first down, they would have put him in field goal position, and they probably would have won. And it was a screen pass, and the entire defense of the Giants was nowhere to be found. They just got burnt, except for Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce was getting blocked, though, by an offensive lineman. One-on-one blocked. He was able to push through the block, grab the running back with one hand, and fucking pull them both down, like behind the line of scrimmage, and saved like that drive. And then they turned around and won that game, and I was like, that was super. It was like pure strength and like just perseverance. Like he's like, I'm not letting him get a first. I was like, it's one of the most impressive things I've seen. And like he was the last guy who was like a play caller. Like every single he was like
general.
You know what I'm saying? Though he was like field general in defense. He made big plays. He's like, hey, shift. He knew everything. Like he was
he was a great linebacker. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That was it. And after him, it was like fucking nobody. And we had no lead. Landon Collins was a good safety. Like he was a great traded him. Like we started trading only good players. It's like
Janoris Jenkins was cut
because he called someone a retard on Twitter. Which the Giants aren't in a position to do that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not good. You can't cut one of your best.
I mean, I would just be like, what did that person say? Because let's see, and then you could be like, well, they are a retard. You see that, so I'm not cutting him.
But so I would say O-line or a linebacker.
Okay, Evan, what do you think about the Eagles? What do you think? Who do they need? What position?
I mean, I think we're gonna go wide receiver first round.
What would you like best for them to do? That's more of what I'm asking.
I mean, I know it's gonna cost too much, but I'd like to see them trade up for Henry Ruggs III. That would be like the prime thing of what I would want. I mean, we have two top 10 tight ends. You get a little dude running around. If you get Deshaun coming back, even if he plays 8 to 12 games next year, and I think he's going to be hungry.
Hopefully more than that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying even if. But if we had like
Is he healthy to start the season though?
Yeah, I mean he was healthy at the end of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
If we would have gone further in the playoffs, he would have played, and he would have played hard.
It would have been I think the championship game he would have came back for, right?
Yeah, and that would have been where he would have been like 110%. He would have been good to go. He probably could have come back earlier, but they saw what happened before. And they were playing it really safe.
Dude,
and I think he was too.
Just so we can reiterate, he should have just got the surgery.
He really should have. He should have.
It pisses me off that he didn't.
He would have been back, I think, week 11, week 12?
Yeah.
And been able to finish out the season. We could have really
used the wide receiver there. Greg Ward's out there in a playoff game.
And
he's
I love
like a
Greg
63
Ward.
in Madden.
I love Greg Ward. I like Greg Ward a lot. I think
so do I.
He's going to stay on. He's going
to
He's going to keep on the team. Speaking of Madden, I think he's going to go up into the mid 70s. At the beginning
should
of the year.
Should be a 99 in my book,
right, dude? 99 quarterback. But I think that we're gonna go wide receiver. I want to see Henry Ruggs, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that would cost a little too much.
Judy, right? Isn't he one that they're looking at?
He's one of the ones that they're looking at.
I think it's either linebacker or wide receiver. To me, those are the two biggest holes.
I mean, I think you guys 1,000% need to go receiver first over linebacker.
Yeah, because we can get a linebacker second or third round, and he'll still be serviceable.
Wentz has no one to throw the ball to.
Wentz doesn't need to. He just scrambles around, blows his knee out, and we go to the Super Bowl.
We don't have Nick Foles anymore, bud.
Oh yeah.
You need Wentz to play 3/4 of the season for you, and then another quarterback to finish out the last quarter.
And I guess that's the only way that's ever gonna happen. Yeah, which is so frustrating.
Wentz is so injury prone, dude.
I know it's annoying.
I don't even think he's injury prone.
Not.
He's not injury prone.
Yeah.
He's just been unlucky with some of the stuff. I mean,
some of the injuries.
Well, no, because that's because
because
you can't really say that he's injury prone because it's not like he's just
back.
It's not like he's just running around and then like twisting his own ankle and shit.
Right. And this year was the concussion.
Yeah, this year was a concussion, which was
That's
Jadeveon Clowney.
cheap.
But that's not injury prone.
No, that's just freak.
That's not injury prone.
But he's still out with an injury.
But
he's missing time.
Yeah, but
his knee isn't his shoulder, elbow, whatever the fuck, his arm. Right? Didn't he hurt his arm at one point?
I mean, I just wouldn't really count that injury. That's all.
Yeah, the only ones that he had was the ACL. I mean, other than that, it's been like really weird shit. And the ACL, I mean, that 100% on him because he dove in, but at the same time, fuck yeah, dude, I want you to do that every goddamn time.
I think that was just a freak thing, dude, where he got hit.
And it like his fucking leg went spaghetti.
Yeah.
Well, look at Aaron Rodgers.
He threw a touchdown.
He was faster after his ACL surgery. He said.
Yeah, and we'll see how much
that
stronger
Nigerian
Carson gets
ACL
too.
put in there.
Yeah, whatever cadaver.
Because
maybe it was a Kenyan.
It's not like Carson
Rwanda
Wentz
cadaver.
isn't an athletic man. I mean, he's a pretty big dude. You know, he's like what?
I think he's
6'4"
athletic
and
for his
athletic as
size,
shit.
to be honest. Yeah, he's
I mean,
don't they always compare him to Big Ben?
He's more athletic and he's more slippery than Big
think
Ben
he
ever
is
was.
too.
I think he is too.
I mean, what was it? The second year in, it was towards the beginning of the year against Washington Redskins. I mean, they had him in a big time sack, and he just popped out.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with my dad, like, "Oh, they got him!" And then the camera whips over, and he's just like running down the damn thing. I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, how did you do that? You're too big to do that." So
it's moments like that where you're like, "That was such a good pick," and then when he fucking gets a concussion, you're like, "Dude. Fuck, this is so annoying. Like, can this guy just play in a playoff game?"
Yeah. It really is, you know, you gotta build the team around him. When you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off and you can't throw the ball to anybody, all you have is Greg Ward, you know, picked up off an AAF squad. Get the hell out of here, dude. And he's making plays
if Wentz
still.
Played that game, we would have won that game because they were competitive with McCown.
And McCown did not look good.
No, he didn't. And that dude, first of all, looks like he's an 80-year-old man who got plastic surgery.
McCown?
Yeah, it's like, is this a real guy?
McCown always looks like he's like post-alcoholic face and head.
Yeah, yes.
No, it looks so swollen, his face and head. I'm like, did you just come off a bender and quit drinking? Like, what do you...
And he's got loose and tight skin at the same time. It like does not make sense.
Yeah,
so they were never gonna win with him.
No,
he's not gonna.
He's also 43 years old.
Yeah,
true. He was coach in high school.
I mean, I think they're gonna go wide receiver. A couple of the things that I've been looking at. We got there's like pretty much everybody's saying Justin Jefferson out of LSU is gonna be there.
Yeah.
If we don't move out in 21, it's probably gonna be who the Eagles go for.
This draft's deep though, right?
For wide receiver, I mean, there's a good like 6 or 7 guys who
this is not a quarterback draft.
No, honestly,
Tua.
But yes, no quarterback draft.
Joe
like
Burrow.
5 or 6 quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest about, and I know this might be like a little bit of a hot take, and I know you guys already know that I don't think that Joe Burrow has everything. I think that if you put Joe Burrow in a lot of other drafts, he's going 2nd round. Even with the numbers.
I see what you're saying.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. It depends on who you're comparing them with their college numbers. But like for this draft, besides Tua, you have Justin Herbert, right?
He's so inconsistent.
He's gonna be a 2nd round pick.
I bet you he goes to the Chargers though. I bet you they take him.
No, I think they're gonna take Jordan Love.
Cool name.
Forgot about Jordan Love, dude. Yeah,
Jordan Love can ball out. And here's the thing. I mean, he's from a smaller college. I think he's from Utah, right?
I have no idea.
If I'm not mistaken, let me look that up. But he balls out. I mean, he looks like a little bit of a lankier Patrick Mahomes. I mean, throwing that thing. So
I haven't seen him play
at all. There's like no quarterbacks in this draft. This is like a receiver defensive heavy draft.
Yeah, it was from Utah. Yeah.
As an Eagles fan, that's what I want, really, right?
You know what though?
Well,
you know what I think the Eagles are going to get later in the draft, probably like 4th or 5th round, is a really good backup quarterback, because that's what this this quarterback draft has a lot of, solid looking backups.
Yeah, they're gonna
dudes
draft
that are whoever gets Jalen Hurts later in the draft is getting one of the biggest steals I've ever seen in my life. Really? I'm not kidding.
Do you watch college football a lot? Because I just feel like I know these guys' names, but I can't think of them.
When Jalen Hurts played a bunch at Alabama, because I was following. I had a little bit more time to follow that, especially working.
Was he behind Tua? Or
no, he was in front of Tua, then got hurt.
Yeah,
and then Tua kept playing.
He was the one who was starting before him, right?
And he was the one who got them to where they were. He got them to the final game. He got him to the championship. It was just because he got hurt. And
also, by the way, Tua is a left-handed quarterback.
So
there's, the only thing, and this is legitimate when it comes to left-handed.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
when it comes to a left-handed quarterback, you do have to your whole offensive line has to switch.
Yeah. Also, your right tackle now,
completely different.
Your blindside guy.
And most people train for right-handed quarterbacks. That's just growing up.
Also, can you guys name the last left-handed quarterback that went to a Super Bowl?
Steve Young.
Wrong.
McNair? No, just kidding.
Hofstetter.
It's a Steve, right?
No,
I actually have no idea. Okay, well, that's
Gannon was
not
left-handed?
good.
I'm pretty confident he was, and he was a side slinger. I'm pretty sure he's a side slinging lefty.
Dude,
or he was a side slinging righty. Fuck. No, he was left-handed.
Dude, is he? I can't remember now. Yeah, fuck.
Was I confident on a wrong stat?
Dude, you might be right. I honestly, I don't know.
If my memory serves me correctly, he was a side slinging left-handed quarterback.
Dude, I just remember him getting nailed and being like, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, is he dead?" And then that was the end of his career.
They played the Bucs that year, and I love the Bucs that year because Lynch was on that team, my favorite player, and that defense was one of the best defenses of all time.
Yeah,
the 02 Bucs. It's not as good as the 85 Bears, right?
Wait, are you gonna try to tell me about the 02 Bucs as an Eagles fan? And that was one of the biggest disappointments I've ever experienced in my life.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Fucking Rondé Barber, man. I'm fucking McNabb.
Dude, by the way, Rondé might be the greatest cornerback of all time.
No, it was definitely it was definitely Steve Young. There aren't very many left-handed quarterbacks.
Rich Gannon wasn't left-handed quarterback?
No, at least if he wasn't a top 10 left-handed quarterback, because one of the top 10 left-handed quarterbacks. No. Hold on, because none of them have won the Super Bowl other than Steve Young, Ken Stabler.
Right, Rich Gannon lost.
And yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rich Gannon, I don't think, is a left-handed quarterback.
We should do a top 10.
Because here's the thing. The only reason I'm saying I don't think he is because Tim Tebow is on 5 top 10 lists for left-handed quarterbacks, and Rich Gannon's not on a single one.
Hold on, I am going.
Most religious.
My fucking mind. I could have swore, dude, he was fucking left-handed.
Dude, that is blowing my mind.
Right-handed.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Holy shit. Maybe I was confusing with this. He definitely threw sideways though. He had that side slinging motion for sure.
News.
I just watched the highlight, so I knew that. Okay, I was just confusing those two things. That's weird.
He watched a bootleg highlight. Somebody put it on the internet backwards.
Yeah.
They watched it in a mirror.
So who was the left? So it was Steve Young?
Yeah.
To go to a Super Bowl, yeah, but Vic was left-handed.
Yeah, but he never made a Super Bowl.
No, he didn't, but he made the conference championship.
Yeah, he did.
And they lost to the Eagles. Yo, Adam, dude, your eyes and your eyebrows are one thing.
Yeah, it's real weird.
It's
it's very weird. I'd say take your hat off, but
that was Jesus.
Don't do
Christ.
that.
I don't know what to do about this light situation. If the dog wasn't here, I could figure it out.
So I'm gonna pull it up on the screen here. I'll pop back and forth between our faces and the CBS NFL mock draft because ESPN only lets me see the first 5 of them. Because fuck you, ESPN Plus, Disney, you bastards.
Oh, you have to pay money?
Yes, you do.
I have ESPN Plus.
Yeah, we're not going through all that right now. We're not gonna be live on here saying what your shit is, and it's pretty much all the same. Everybody's pretty close on what's going on. So we start off. Pick number 1 is to Cincinnati. Most everybody is saying Joe Burrow. I think I'm
Joe Burrow to the boneyard.
I think I'm one of the few people who says no. I don't know if it would be worth that. I feel like you might be able to get more worth trading out of there.
They need a quarterback.
They do need a quarterback, so we'll see.
What are you talking about? They have Andy Dalton.
Yeah, my bad.
They do. They do.
Yeah. Mr. Mediocrity.
Fiery Cheeto.
We got Washington coming up next at number 2. Most everybody's saying that they're going to be taking Chase Young. I mean, he is.
That's a bummer.
He is the consensus number 1 prospect, going right now.
For sure.
But I don't think the Bengals need him more than they need a quarterback. That's the thing.
No, but at the same time, I mean, any football team would be dumb not to take a man like that.
Yeah, I know, but like long-term, quarterback's more important.
Cincinnati can only take him if they have like a guy in college that they really want next year.
Right, next year. And they also would be like, we're going to have the first pick again.
yeah, exactly. And then Andy will still quarterback for like whatever, and then you can get there. But I mean, dude, Cincinnati has how many losing seasons in a row? Like, what's one more? Right?
Yeah, I don't want to do this whole episode based on the fucking draft again because we've done this already. But like, I mean, I do think Burrow will go to Cincinnati for sure.
Yeah.
But
all right, well, then what do you want to talk about?
No, I was saying let's do the first 5. Let's do the first 5 picks instead of doing
okay.
The whole thing again.
So CBS has the 3rd pick being traded from the Lions trading to the Dolphins. It's pretty much most of everybody has been actually having that written down from what I have seen, and that is Miami picking up Tua with a last name that I'm not going to try right now. Tagovailoa, something like that. I personally think Tua has a higher ceiling than Burrows does. But I mean, and as bad as Cincinnati's organization is, I think that Miami's organization might be a little bit worse.
I don't know why, but the left-handed quarterback thing throws me off.
Yeah, I don't really like lefties.
Like it's like a left-handed kicker. I
love
David
Akers
punters though, but it's weird.
It is weird because it's flipped, obviously. Well, actually, kicking is even weirder because then he's standing on the other side.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks you don't know until they're throwing. But, I don't know. So who's the next guy then?
New York Giants picking at 4th. Offensive line, I've seen this on a couple different mock drafts as well. That would be Jedrick Wills is what CBS is.
Yeah, I saw the dude from Iowa, too.
He is out of Alabama. They need O-line. I mean, that's pretty much the plan.
O-line and their second pick should be a fucking linebacker. That's what they should do. O-line linebacker. So I'm fine with that.
Pick number 5 here to Detroit. We have CBS saying that Jeff Okudah out of Ohio State, and he is one physical ass dude. I mean, he hits really hard. He's a bit bigger than the average cornerback. He's 6'1", 205. They're listing him as. I'd probably get him closer like 210. Is what he always looked like. I mean, he's a beefy dude. He's not just lanky. So, I mean, and they just got rid of Darius Slay, so they're going to be looking to try to cheapen up there. Darius was looking to get paid. Actually took a little bit less money coming to the Eagles because he wanted to play for a winning team.
You know what's stupid though? Because they picked up Trufant, and if Slay kept, that would have been a great cornerback tandem.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
They should have tried to keep it together for at least a year.
Or at least a year, right?
Hey, it didn't help that I don't know if you guys saw. What was it? I think it was a little bit over a month ago now. Darius Slay came out pretty much saying that him and Patricia did not get along at all. I mean,
no, that guy's an asshole. I
mean, he's an ass. Yeah, and he I think what he said was he called him out in front of the whole team, like real disrespectfully, and it was just like, hey, yo, dude, I'm kind of a veteran. You don't do that. Like, it's not like I even fucked up.
Bro, what's crazy is imagine being a dude who's 25 years old, yoked, and this fat piece of shit. I know. It's like, what were you thinking on that play? It's like, bitch, you can't even run. Like, that's crazy that you're.
I think he used some words that shouldn't have been used to kind of like try to like prove a point, and it soured everything. Yeah, that's what the interview was saying. So,
I did hear someone say that like that New England way. Go ahead, what's up?
I was gonna say, you make a good point about that. Where like a lot of these coaches who like, especially the ones who never played football, like at a high level, like and you're just some extreme athlete and you're getting yelled at. It's like, hey man,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, even it's funny. Even as like if you were playing for the Eagles or if you're playing Pat Mahomes right now, you got Andy Reid who when he was a kid was throwing rockets down the fucking field. I mean, he was always a bigger dude, but he could throw a football like it was a fucking it was nothing. So I mean, and he was he's always had football in his blood.
It's like Matt Patricia has the smallest dick in any room he's ever been in. Do you know what I mean? And it's like then this guy.
Well, we wouldn't know. He probably can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nobody can.
But then what? He's gonna tell me how to run?
Exactly. No, it's just like with MMA when there's like, why does he just jab him? Shut up.
Yeah.
We got a couple of
This
coaches
isn't
right now
wrestling
like
your
that.
dad back at home. Buddy.
One of the other ones I can think of would be Bill O'Brien. I mean, kind of just like shit in the bed, not kind of trying to run it the Patriot way, but not having it yet. You don't have.
I feel like the only person who can do that is Belichick. It doesn't work for anyone else for some reason. I don't know if it's because of his pedigree, and maybe he wasn't as intense as he is now, like when he first started. But now he has the pedigree, so he can just be like a total dick.
But he also played college ball, though, right?
Did he? I have no idea.
I think he did.
Okay, well, that's like being in the Marines and then someone being like, I'm in the Coast Guard. It's like, well, we're both not in the military, are we?
No, but my point is, like, at least he played like a high level of football.
I mean, I guess
it's still hard to play college football, dude. It's not
yeah,
easy.
he was he didn't
like D3,
he didn't
right?
really play football. He was a part of the team, but he did play lacrosse.
Oh, lacrosse. Okay.
He was the team captain of lacrosse, but he sat on the bench as center in football.
Right, but
he still played sports.
He still made a team, and like it's still
hard
to make a
I'm fucking around.
Regardless.
I'm just saying.
I know, but like, so at least he has like
something.
But then like there are guys who never played even college coaches. I know it's rarer now, but like
rare.
There are some guys who are just fucking. It's like
but if you go.
How come you didn't throw? It's like you can't.
You know what though?
Made it to college.
If you go into it with the right mindset, I think it works. If you go into it as I'm here to be the coach and I've never done this, but I know what I'm talking about.
Right, but you have to carry yourself.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got guys like Sean McVay who carry themselves well.
He also played college,
but he didn't really make it that far. He played for what? Like yeah,
my phone's gonna die.
Oh my god!
It's at 1%.
We're at 40 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we got to talk Gronk real fast, and then let's talk some MMA. And
all right, well then you guys, dude, it's at 1%. It's literally just.
Why don't you just plug it in, charge it for a little bit, and then just come back in?
We might be done by then.
Yeah.
Well, just text me, and we'll let you know.
Blaze.
All right, fine.
It was good. Thank you.
Hey, Blasie Comedy, thank you. High History, go check that out.
Yeah, we just put one up today.
If I don't come back, my phone is literally about to turn off. All right. Bye. Love you guys.
Love you. He needs to buy a flange dongle.
It's a dongle. It's not a flange. I don't know where you got that.
I said flange dongle.
A flange dongle. That's what they are now.
Obviously, Gronk fucking coming out of retirement. Which, as soon as I heard that rumor, like a few weeks ago in SportsCenter, I was like, he's coming out of retirement. I was like, I think that is true. I think it's going to happen for sure.
Hey, I remember saying that months and months and months ago to you guys. I was like, Gronk's coming back. Gronk's going to be coming back. There's no way he doesn't. It's not going to be for the Patriots.
I'm surprised because it looks like he was enjoying himself wholeheartedly. Like out of retirement.
You know what I think? Really got him to turn though. I think him being stuck at home right now, literally being stuck at home.
I know he said he didn't want to play for the Patriots anymore too.
Yeah,
like he was over that organization. Which I get it because like he is not the antithesis of that organization. No, not the antithesis.
He's the opposite. He
is the antithesis of that organization. Is what I meant to say. He's like fun party idiot guy who wants to just joke around, and that's like fucking no, like militarily run. Training camp football skit. It's like and he's like fucking beers, woo! That's why we all love Gronk though. He's like a fucking dumb meathead.
I think it's that. I think it's the fact that you're gonna have a much more relaxed organization down in Tampa Bay.
Did you see the video Brady posted on Instagram today? It was very funny.
No.
There's a video of him in his backyard blowing a conch shell, like Brady. and then they cut to like all these birds like coming off like the trees and like a loud noise it was like the woo woo and a conch shell blowing, and then it cuts back to Brady and then pans to the woods and Gronk comes running out of the woods and he's like, I'm hated. I'm a little tired, but I'm good. I'm ready to football or something like that. It's pretty funny. It's pretty fucking funny. I think it was on his Instagram. I can't hear you.
I got it pulled up for you, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I already saw it, but if you want to show people, it was on his Instagram. But it's pretty funny.
Hopefully, I know we're using all my internet right now. Send this out, Comcast. Let's speed this shit up, dude. What are we doing here, man? Just trying to load Instagram. Can't even do it. Oh
my god. Okay, it's no big deal.
That's sad.
But it's fine.
Instagram.
But yeah, But I think that's a offensive weapons, dude. Gronk, Evans, Godwin, Cameron Brate, OJ Howard.
Right?
What's the running back? Jones.
You have Gronk now, but then you have the skinnier, faster version of Gronk on the outside, Mike Evans. Like, what the hell? Like, that's insane. Gronk's had a year and a half off from doing anything.
He's like 2 years.
He's gonna be so healthy.
Well, he has to put on more. Like, he definitely lost size.
Yeah, but like that might help him because they'll get somebody to do blocking. He's going to be receiving tight end all day.
Yeah, I know,
day.
but he was always receiving tight end.
Yeah, but I mean,
forget,
like,
the whole thing with his receiving tight endness was his fucking physicality. He was. I mean, I watched a whole highlight reel of Gronk yesterday. NFL Throwback on Instagram put on a whole like Gronk highlight reel, and all the plays, besides a few very acrobatic ones, most of them were just catching them and just running with 8 people on his back. It was like super impressive. Like, that's his thing. Like, he's not graceful.
No, he runs. I mean, sometimes he runs like a lump most of the time.
But some catches are fucking impressive as fuck. Like, he has some really nice catches. I mean, Gronk's probably, my opinion, the best tight end of all time. Who's better than him?
Tony Gonzalez.
Disagree. I think Gronk's more physically athletic than TG.
Yeah, but he was able to do everything. I mean, there was a point, even just a few years into his career, that he was able to block with the best of them. He
was a better blocking.
He was a better overall tight end.
But let's be honest with you, the Patriots never one time really asked Gronk to block. They did, but barely. He was not really a blocking tight end. Yeah, that wasn't really the Patriots scheme, though.
And neither was Tony Gonzalez, but he was able to do everything. I personally think Tony Gonzalez is the one that everybody's trying to be, and I think the fact that I think that if he were to play now, his numbers would have been, I mean, way more than what he had, because like people know how to run.
Well, yeah, I mean, they use
tight end
more,
tight
but
end.
But he was always used way more.
He was used more than everybody else, but also too.
Yeah,
Zach Ertz had just, what was it, 2 years ago, where he had the most catches in a year. And
that doesn't mean that Gronk's not better.
Oh no. That's what I'm saying, though. If you had Tony Gonzalez playing in the same era right now, where you have guys like Zach Ertz or what's his face from the Cowgirls.
Witten.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The greatest.
Well, Witten's one of the greatest tight ends of all time too, but like, he's great as in leadership. He's great as in numbers he put up. Clutch, very clutch.
Yeah,
Witten,
no,
but
I'm not saying, and I'm not saying that. I honestly, it's 1A, 1B, and then
yeah, no, I'm just trying to say, as far as like defining plays, though, you're not like, remember that Witten highlight, but I could be like, remember that Gronk highlight when he fucking ran over 15 Colt players and and ran for 80 yards? Like, they're way more impressive. They're way more physically impressive. Like, if you're watching
I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just thinking, my personal opinion. I think that at the end of the day, I think Tony Gonzalez is going to go.
I also think Antonio Gates is one of the best tight ends of all time too.
Fuck yeah, dude. He's great. They're all really great. And
especially he never played college football too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, well, he's college basketball, right? Yeah.
So that's impressive to me, to come out and break all the fucking records for tight end. And I'm like, I never played college football. It's like, fuck you, man. How are you that good?
His brains never got beaten in.
It's nuts.
But let's go to some MMA real fast.
Yeah, and then we'll bounce. Yeah, so Fight Island's officially off. Very sad. Very sad. No Fight Island. Disney and ESPN stepped in officially.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago now. Yep, they said, "Hey, you're not allowed to do that."
Well, they didn't say you're not allowed to. You know what they said? So this is what Dana White. Let's come for Dana White. So I mean, take it with a grain of salt, right? But he said they strongly recommended I don't go on, and I respected their wishes. And I was like, it sounds like they went to you and said, if you do this, we're going to pull out $4 billion we gave you. And he went, okay.
Yeah. Things might happen to your family that you do or don't have. You have no family? Yeah, we're going to keep it that way, bud.
Do you see that guy is re-suing Dana White for that sex tape thing?
No.
Do you remember that 10 years ago, someone tried to blackmail Dana White for a sex tape, and then he went to jail for 10 years, and then he got out of jail and is now suing Dana White again? It's like, hey, man, this guy.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, the guy.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole extortion thing. Yeah, I did read that the other day. Yeah.
He's a piece of shit trying to get money. That's all he is.
Yeah, it's Dana White's caught in the middle of some creepy dude trying to get money out of him.
And he went to jail already. Like he already was like, they were like, you 10 years
did this already, you fucking weirdo. Yeah, so that sucks, man. But yeah, you know what? That's just it's just I you see that almost all the time. Things coming up where people that have a lot of money, somebody's just like, oh man, I gotta get them.
Yeah,
trying to get something out.
But I thought that was interesting. But yeah, so no Fight Island. But apparently UFC 249 is still happening in May 15th or 18th.
No, May 9th.
I think.
May 9th. They moved it to May 9th.
Oh, May 9th?
It's May 9th.
And they said it's going to be somewhere in Florida.
I heard that they haven't given out anything. And that was earlier today.
I think on MMA Junkie or MMA whatever the fuck. MMA Fighting or MMA Junkie. I believe I saw it where it said somewhere in Florida. It's gonna be it might be MMA.
Okay.
Fighter.
Yeah, so they're saying somewhere in Florida, possibly. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
You'd have a little bit more insight into this, and this is something that I actually was just like, why the fuck if they did this, if the fight goes on in a week or two, which ends up being 3 weeks later, 3.5 weeks later, we all saw, I'm sure we did, Tony Ferguson making weight. That was Friday nuts. Before. That's dumb.
No, that's Tony Ferguson, and we have to appreciate the brilliant, fragile mind of Tony Ferguson, because that's crazy, but that's crazy in only a Tony Ferguson way, right? Like that's only Tony Ferguson would. That's the Tony Ferguson thing. Like no one else is doing that.
I know, but I'm just afraid that it's gonna hurt him in the fight. You just think he's always crazy and would have done it anyway?
Yeah.
Like every other week, he's probably like, I'm cutting weight, dude.
Yeah.
And then freaks out. All right.
You see how he his crazy training methods, and all the other fighters like making funny parody videos of like their funny Tony Ferguson training videos.
Yeah, he does like the Office type fucking parkour, but then like does it like intense. It's very strange. I don't understand any of it.
He's carrying a tire on his back
while eating like pierogies and doing like backflips. It's very strange. I don't understand the man, but hey, it wins some fights. It wins the man.
It works. He's so dominant. He's so good.
So I mean, that's the only thing. And if you're saying that it's not going to matter for him, I'll trust you on that.
I don't think it will.
I still think it might matter a little bit. Then again, I really didn't think Gaethje was going to have. I don't know. I think Ferguson's too much of a wild card to.
By the way, Gaethje's. You see what Gaethje's saying? He's like, I know I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked, but it's for the people.
Well, hey, at least he knows it. Because that's the biggest thing, and that was what I originally said. What was it, like 3 months ago or 4 months ago when we were talking about Khabib Ferguson? That's why I thought that maybe Ferguson had a decent chance against Khabib because of the wild card factor. I mean, the dude's just a fucking nut. It's just arms and legs flailing all over the place, and if you get hit by one, you might get knocked out. I don't care who you are. And that's how he fights. It's crazy.
And again, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Tony fight Gaethje, but like I don't want to see that first.
We are though. It's happening on the 9th.
I know, but I want to see Tony Khabib first.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that first.
Khabib's in fucking Russia, and he bitched out.
He did bitch out. He could have taken a private.
He 100% by now could have taken 50 flights. I mean, I'm not kidding. He could have taken 50 private flights and at least 15 non-private flights.
Yeah, he's like, I can't get to the U.S. It's like,
yes,
you can.
Yes, you can.
You're not flying out of Wuhan. You're flying out of Dagestan.
No, and you know what the best part is? With that kind of pull, you could fly out of fucking anywhere.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
but that's a
helicopter,
point. He's not even
dude.
flying out of a shady. He's not even
No.
flying out of a shady. Russia
he's flying.
has like no cases.
No, and then on top of that, he's literally one of the kings of his country. I mean, he is looked at as the man. I mean, and you know what? Rightfully so. He does his work and he does good for his fucking family.
Dude, that psychopath, the Chechen president, that psycho, he fucking loves Khabib.
Hey, you know what? Maybe some of Khabib will rub off on him and he'll become slightly more normal-ish. And to say Khabib is more normal than anybody is absolutely insane because the dude is also a nut. But no, I honestly like I like as much as I don't like Khabib's fighting style because it is so like grating to watch sometimes because it is just like I'm gonna pound you into the ground. I'm literally just gonna like rub you into the ground. His training is awesome, dude. I mean, McGregor, guys like that. I mean, they train like no other, and I respect that. So that's where I like that.
Did you ever hear like DC talk about Khabib in training? He's like, no one beats him.
Yeah. He's
like, no one beats him. He's like, nobody. He's like Olympic wrestlers coming here to train with us. He's like, and he beats them.
Yeah, and that's coming from a guy that's coming from DC, who I'd also say is
from an Olympic wrestler,
one of the toughest training sons of bitches when it comes to wrestling, especially when it comes to Olympic wrestling.
He's one of the best wrestlers
of all time. I mean, he's great. So yeah, and that's just to speak even more highly of a guy like Khabib. So yeah,
Khabib lost one round in MMA. That was round 3 in that Conor fight.
But hey, you know what? I think it shows how afraid of Ferguson he is that he's not showing up right now, and he should be. I mean, fucking Ferguson has one of the biggest chances to knock him senseless, like just out of nowhere, just completely out of nowhere, knock him straight on the ground. Because at least with Conor McGregor, I think that Khabib is on the same level as a lot of other high level athletes where they see things faster than everybody else. I mean, you get like a Jimmy Johnson who sees things faster than every other person on Earth. You get most F1 drivers who see everything. I mean, his brain's on that same level. I think looking at somebody like a Conor McGregor, it might be easier for him to fight him because he is so clinical. And it's like, well, I mean, I know you're quick, but I can see it,
Right, Conor's more of a technician.
He's so technical.
Yes.
Almost to a fault to somebody who can see that shit. But you get
Tony's I like to say chaotic wild.
No, he's
or not chaotic wild. He's chaotic controlled wild, I should say.
Honestly, at some points he's not even. I don't even think he's controlled, but I think he's so talented at what he's doing that I think it works for him. Because you can get anybody spinning around like Eddie Gordo and it's not going to do shit. But Tony Ferguson figured it out. And that for himself, and I think for at least right now, it's working for him. I don't know if it's gonna work when he gets like real old. I think he'll like break his back.
No, but here's the thing too, though. Khabib never fought anybody
like that,
Tony. He's never fought anybody with the jiu-jitsu Tony has.
No, well,
nobody.
I mean, the only other person who gets close when it comes to range of motion would have been Conor, but at the same time, he's more clinical, and it's a lot easier, I think, at least for somebody like that who's well trained to read that. And that's where I think that Ferguson has the best chance against a lot of those guys.
Also, that Khabib Conor thing though, Khabib also knew. He's like, Conor's not gonna try to take me down. He's like, there's no way. Why would he do that? He's like, in Khabib's mind, he's like, I'm 1,000% fine. Good luck. Try and take me. Like, if you try to take me down, that's crazy. But Tony's like, I'll fucking let you. I'll go into guard. He's like, I'll lay on my back and let you go into guard. My guard. He's like, I'll fight off my back. Tony doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he'll throw kicks. He'll knock him silly from down below.
He's
with
one
a couple
of the few
elbows
guys who I've seen. He's like, no, I love being in guard. It's like, what?
Because at times you could see where he's almost just like, all right, so my arm's gonna be here, my other arm's gonna be here, and I'm holding you, and I'm gonna relax.
Yeah,
those are almost times where he's gonna relax, because that's how Khabib fights too. If he's gonna be laying on top of you, he's like, all right, I'm gonna relax for a minute.
Work.
Yeah,
right.
But when Ferguson knows that I'm not working because I know where I'm putting my shit because I'm really good at jiu-jitsu. You're not I'm all right. You know, get me on the ground. We're fine.
Also, don't forget his elbows and knees are crazy good.
That's exactly
from the clinch too,
well,
and the guard.
Exactly.
So, like,
I mean, he's his. I mean, I'm gonna say flail game, but I mean his flail game is awesome. I mean, he's so strong when it comes to flailing things and throwing arms and making it count. I mean, he could throw a like a fucking sidearm like a like a. It's gonna hurt.
If that doesn't happen eventually, I'm gonna be so. This is the 6th time now.
It's the 5th. It's the 5th.
Oh, 5th time, right?
Fifth
Next
time,
time it'll be the 6th. If they okay.
That's
crazy.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, as well, I think Dana White's gonna have a talk with Khabib in his camp and be like, "Yo, we can't have this happen again, dude." Because like, as big of a draw as it is to have that fight, Khabib on his own isn't. And I think everybody knows that, and I don't know if Khabib knows that.
Well, yeah. Well, also here's the thing: Khabib's like, I'm not going to fight Conor again until. Blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, you don't really have that choice to say that.
You don't have any choice.
What the UFC is going to do.
Yeah.
The UFC is going to go. We want money, and you don't make money. You versus Conor.
Yeah, because you versus anybody else other than Tony Ferguson, nobody cares about what you're doing. No offense.
No, I think they do. I just don't think
the average consumer doesn't.
I think the average MMA goer, and this is my opinion, I think the average super average MMA goer probably finds Khabib very boring.
Yeah, and I'm an above average MMA guy, and I find Khabib boring.
I'm an MMA purist, and I will even say sometimes Khabib's like, I'm like, okay, it's like okay,
well,
you're just laying there.
You know what? A lot of that has to do too. I think. There's been a few fights with Khabib where I think that the ref could have stood him up.
I agree with that, and
like 100, I mean,
probably get yelled at by other MMA people, but I agree with you.
I was watching.
Not a lot.
I was watching.
Not a lot.
No, because there would be a few people be like, "Oh, come on, man!" But I think a lot of people would be like, "Well, that's what that rule was implemented for."
Like
literally 25 years ago.
Like he was super dominant when he was punching him in his face and he was like, "You must quit. I must fight for title." Remember that?
But
like,
in the Conor fight, there was a handful of times where I could have said, "Hey, Khabib's not doing anything."
Yeah, and like the argument,
stand him up.
Of course, is he's making Conor more tired, so he is work. Yeah, that's the argument. It's just like this is a championship fight, man. I don't know, like it's like
I know, but at the same time, I mean, that's like a running thing on a lot of the fights that I've watched with Khabib. I mean, it's just like maybe we should stand him up.
Okay, well, did you see the? I don't know if you saw the Romero Adesanya fight.
I think I probably. When was this one? It was like
the last fight.
Yeah, I watched the highlights of that. Yeah.
Don't forget that was a boring ass fight. If you're an MMA commenter and you're watching that fight, Romero didn't engage and Adesanya didn't engage. It was a fuck. But if you're a MMA hardcore fan or someone like me, or like you really know your MMA, you watch that and go, well, that's because Adesanya knows Romero has crazy power.
They both knew each other and they knew what was going on.
And Romero knows Adesanya could fucking KO him. So it's like, it's like this dance now. It was slow, and it was a championship fight. So it's like, you kind of have to work here. You both can't just stand there for fucking 5 rounds because it's a championship fight.
Well, it's almost the same as the Super Bowl, the Rams versus the Patriots. I mean, it was, you guys are supposed to be high-powered offenses, but they weren't trying at all. It seemed like, nobody was throwing. Nobody was throwing the big.
They're playing too cautious.
Yeah, super cautious, and that's exactly what you were just saying there. And I think that happens sometimes. I mean, you see that in a lot of different sports and stuff. I mean, a lot less in where you get like multiple games and things. But when you have a fight, especially against guys who really know each other, it can go one of two ways. It's either they're going to respect each other and really go in it and be like, we're both fighting, and we've seen that. I mean, we saw that with McGregor Diaz and shit like that, but then you also have the opposite where you just had the Adesanya and shit, where it's just like, okay, we both know each other, I respect you too much almost, and I'm almost afraid. And it's like, well, if you're really in it for the sport, and I think this, what there to be afraid of if you're confident in yourself, you could think the person's the greatest in the world, but I mean, especially in a fight situation, if you don't think you're the greatest in the world, I mean, you already lost.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like you always have to respect. You have to respect everybody. You can't walk in there being like, "Oh, fuck this guy," because that guy's gonna knock you out.
But you have to know. But you have to know that you're good. You have to know that you're gonna win. Like if you don't have it built in that you're going to win that fight, I mean, you're probably gonna lose that fucking fight.
You have to walk into it like this guy is talented, but so am I.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think what happened with that fight, because I did now that we talked about it a little bit, I did watch enough of it where people, I remember everybody kind of being up in arms about it being boring. It was for sure. It was a boring fight. It would be like two friends kind of pressing block the whole time in UFC 3. That's that's boring as shit. That's not fun. But no, I think that when it comes down to it, that's sometimes how a fight goes. I mean, boxing matches have been like that forever.
Boxing's terrible though, but
at the same time,
podcast.
But I mean, you have to admit, boxing is as terrible and boring as you might say it is. I mean, boxing takes some fucking talent if you're up at the high level.
I will say this though, the heavyweights have been pretty fucking good the last few years, like Deontay Wilder.
Because you got guys that walk in with all the confidence in the world and know that their arms are going to be throwing hands. And that's what they want.
Johnson, all those guys are fucking powerhouses. I mean by the way, I'm still laughing about that last Fury Wilder fight when Wilder's like, I don't know, man, the costume was 40 pounds. And I wasn't even that hurt. It's like every excuse in the book. It's like, dude, he fucked you up. Just be like, I got fucked up.
I can promise you, at least, I mean, when you were training, I'm sure for football or something, you put on those 50-pound vests and ran around a bit.
We would do it for MMA too. We would do it for football and MMA.
Yeah, dude. Yo, we would be doing
there were video
fucking
interviews
pop-ups
of him
with
saying,
yeah.
Like he's like, oh, I train every day with a 40-pound vest. It's like, hey man, so you train every day with a 40-pound vest, but the costume is 40 pounds, and that was too heavy. It's the same weight as your weight vest.
No. I used to, not running fast, obviously, but I've run with wrist weights, ankle weights, and a 50-pound vest, and been good to go the next day or an hour later and played some basketball with my friends. Like,
dude, weighted vests are fucking super helpful.
It loosens up your muscles so much. He should have been more loose for that fight with that. I mean, especially if they gave him even just a minute being able to do 10 squats, right before the fight. You should have been more than limber and ready to go.
Agree.
So,
all right, now let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we're right at an hour.
So draft tomorroh.
Draft's gonna be fun to watch. I'm gonna probably watch some movies beforehand.
Check out that drafty. Just as far as I go, check out Adam Nutter on everything, and producer Evan NWW on Instagram, and check out my other podcast, Nerds with Words, and DropTent.com for all your other stuff.
Yeah.
And we're just putting out content for you guys, so just keep on tuning in and checking us out. And Blaze can go eat shit because he's not here, so I can say that. And he can't defend himself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you guys to go onto Instagram and go to Blasie Comedy. There's probably going to be nothing on there to look at, but if there is, feel free to follow that.
Know what he loves, though? If you send him DMs of your dick.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he loves that.
He likes feet.
He does.
Feet pics and dick pics.
Yeah, so at Blasie Comedy, send all your dick and feet pics.
Just sent me the message just a second ago.
He did. He's like, guys, don't forget to tell them I love dicks in my DM. So at Blasie Comedy, dicks and feet, please. So, all right, guys. That's been fun. Peace.
Peace.
This has been a DropTent Media production.